I'm going to be getting married soon. I plan to hand in our marriage papers real soon with the guy I've been dating.
Wait, you're getting married? And since when have you been going out with anyone, Misty?
You know better than to say something like that. I'm old enough now to where I have to have a man by my side. And the man I've been dating is the same age as me, and he's a very cool-looking guy.
Well, congrats on finding a man to marry, Misty. I have always been wondering when the day would come that you'd be getting married. But now to actually hear from you that you are, I can't help but think about what's next. When are you handing in those marriage papers? And do you plan to have a wedding for everyone to come see you guys at?
We plan to go to the city office very soon here. And the wedding will be happening sometime this year, we hope.
Well, being your mom, Misty, I've been dreaming of seeing you in a wedding dress. And so as your mom, I've done everything I could to raise you without a father here to help, and I'm so excited to hear that my dreams will finally come true. I'll try my best to support you with anything you need, even if I can't offer much, but I'll do everything to get you as nice of a wedding as you want. Before I do anything else, though, I'd really like to meet your soon-to-be husband. At this point, I really need to know who the man is, and that's why I need to see him before we begin preparing.
You don't have to worry about meeting him. I'm not planning on having him come back to your place anytime in the future.
Huh?
You actually think I'd bring him to that rundown shack you're living in? And I already told him that you don't really care to see him much, and that there's no need in him going out to see you. You should just be happy that I'm allowing you to come to my wedding, and then after that, you can leave the two of us alone.
Wait a second, Misty. What are you talking about? I get that this place is pretty old and has seen better days, but I've made sure to keep it clean and safe. And can you tell me why you think I don't care to see him? Why would you tell him a lie like that?
Huh? Well, what about that was a lie? I'm not really sure what you think about me right now, but I actually hate you a lot, Mom. And I feel that you won't need to waste your time seeing my man. And so that's why I've told him that you don't want to see him, because I don't want you seeing him. So it's not really a lie, right?
What?
To tell you the truth, I didn't even want to tell you about us getting married or about having you come to the wedding. But he did tell me that that was going a bit too far, and that I needed to at least allow you the joy of seeing us marry. And that's why I'm allowing you to come, even though I hate your guts. And that should be enough for you to be thanking me right now, right?
Wait, though, Misty! Why are you acting like this now? What happened to you? What do you mean you hate your own mom's guts? What did I do to you that caused you to start thinking that way? Because I thought that I was doing a good job of showing you how much I care about you. Why do you hate me so much?
Shut the hell up, you old hag! You don't have the right to celebrate me now. It's because of you bringing me into a poor household without a father that I've been living such a troubled life. And a mother that thinks it's okay to raise her daughter like that deserves to be hated.
Excuse me?
All right. When you come to my wedding, don't you dare say a single word to anyone. I don't want to have to lose my wedding because you decided to talk without me allowing you to. And when it comes to my fiancé and his family, you don't have to bother yourself with trying to find them and talk to them. I just want you to sit there and shut up while I have my special day.
Hey, really, hold on for just a second. What has actually happened to you? I have no idea why you think that's a good reason to hate me so much. And what do you mean, a poor household? What about our family has been without enough money to live a good life? And just because I'm a single mother doesn't mean that I've troubled you in any way, or at least I didn't mean to.
Seriously? You have no right saying that to me after not allowing me to go overseas for school. And when it comes to wanting to go on trips to Hawaii with you, you never bothered taking me. In other words, you never gave a crap about me.
Huh? What trips to Hawaii? And when you say overseas for school, since when were you ever asking me about stuff like that?
My man told me all about this stuff. He said to me that there's no other reason for it besides you being poor, that I couldn't go overseas for school or to places like Hawaii on vacation.
Huh?
The man that I'm planning on marrying, he's super rich and from a family of rich people. From what he's told me, his parents run a very well-known company, and in a little while longer, he's expected to take over that company.
Wow, is that so?
At the moment, he's working for another company, learning about how to run a company of his own and the economics of it all. And it was at that company that him and I met and started to date. But starting to date a man like him made every day hell for me. I just knew that he would judge me all the time because I've had to grow up in a poor household with just you as a parent.
Huh?
I bet he still judges me for it, Mom! Unlike me, when he was in high school, he was allowed to go study abroad for school. And when it comes to where his family took him on vacation, it'd be places like Bali and Hawaii. Unlike his family, mine has been such an embarrassing mess that it's driven me crazy having to think about you being my mom.
Well, when you compare any other family to a family such as his, they will all look as though they don't have much money. But I'm telling you that we have had it lucky being able to live in such a decent house. And to tell you another thing, I've worked my butt off to make sure that we had the money to live a happy life here. Even though it was impossible for us to go to Hawaii, I still made sure to take you to all sorts of cool places closer to our house. And on your birthdays, I made sure to get you everything you ever asked me for, right?
And what about that means we have been living a happy life? His family goes to all sorts of cool places close to his house every month. And on his birthdays, he gets to have his own private chef come in and make him anything he asks for right in front of his eyes. When you compare our family to that, we are the lowest of the low and considered piss poor. And you yourself are a piss poor excuse for a mother.
What?
If I could have at least had a father, I'm sure that he would have done enough to stop us from being so poor and made sure that we could take more vacations to places like Hawaii. But it's because you divorced him when I was so young that I've had to live with you all by myself and never experience anything besides troubles.
It's the other way around, Misty. If your father was still around, you would have had to suffer a lot more than you think you have, Ben. The whole reason for the divorce was to protect you.
Seriously?
Your father was a heavy gambler and would use up all our money to try and win it big. He was the kind of man that would spend every last penny on slot machines, even when it meant us not being able to buy fresh food for a whole month. So to protect you from a man like that, I left him. If it wasn't for me making that difficult choice to save you, then who knows what kind of horrible life we'd be living in right now.
Stop trying to lie about my father like that. If you'd never forced that divorce when I was so young, then we could be living a wonderful life right now. I know right now that Dad is a way better person than you are and is very successful.
What?
Did you think that after he was forced to leave us, he'd just stop trying to talk to his daughter? Well, I'll lay it out for you. Right now, my father is an owner of his own business. His company isn't as amazing as my fiance's, but it's still a whole lot better than the company you own.
That man has his own business? And another thing, how do you know that he has his own business? Have you actually been talking with him again recently?
When it comes to business owners, they all happen to know one another pretty well. And so somewhere in there, they heard about how I've been dating the son of a CEO, and the news spread along to Dad. And that's why one day I got a message from Dad talking about his life.
Don't tell me that you've started to see him in person as well, right?
Dad is such a perfect father. He was even kind enough to bring me to such a fancy restaurant that they had a dress code in place. He ordered all our food like he knew every detail about the dishes, and he was even kind enough to give me a present. Unlike you, he's the best parent a girl could ask for.
That man did all that for you?
Stop trying to make him look bad because of his past. Everyone has to go through a point in their life where they become addicted to gambling. Normally, as his wife, you should have helped him get over that low in his life. But instead, you selfishly divorced him and made him deal with all that pain on his own. If it wasn't for you being such a selfish hag, then my life would be so much better now. Heck, you could have at least let me go see him every other week after the divorce, and I could have had access to all his money. It's all your fault that my life sucked so much.
Are you kidding me?
If you understand now why I hate you so much, shut the hell up and be quiet when it comes time for my wedding.
Misty, wait a second. What the heck was that whole speech about just then? What you said in front of everyone? Why would you ever read a letter like that to me in front of everyone saying that you want to cut ties to me?
I'm happy to see that you obeyed the promise we made and stayed quiet the whole time. But what you heard today from me was true, and that's why we are done here. After today, you and I are no longer mother and daughter.
All of that was not a good enough reason to want to leave me, though. I get what you were saying to me before as reason for wanting to hate me, but cutting ties to me because of all that? And saying that to me in front of everyone at your wedding?
What's so wrong with that? I was just telling everyone the facts about you. I told them that you didn't let me study abroad, which left me without a perfect education, and told them that while everyone was out having a great time with their families, you'd made me work a part-time job. And when it came to the money I made from a part-time job, you made me give it all to you. I also enjoyed finishing that speech off by saying that life with you has been hell and I want it to end. Now everyone is on my side and asking for things between us to be over for good.
Huh?
After having to hear all of that from me in front of everyone at my wedding, that should be enough to get you to give up on me, right? And even if that isn't enough to get you to leave me, everyone hates you now. So you have no other choice.
And those are your reasons for giving such a cruel speech about me in front of everyone? You must have no idea the amount I have sacrificed for you. Because all I saw from you today was you making up a bunch of events to make it seem as though you were the only one suffering.
Huh?
You never even once told me that you wanted to study abroad or anything like that when you were in school. And from what I remember, your scores in school were too low anyway for them to give you permission to go study overseas.
And my scores were low because you made me work part-time. You made me work after school every day because you didn't have enough money for us, and it's because of me having to work all evening that I never had time to study.
You're wrong, Misty. The only reason you had to work a part-time job was because every month you'd spend around $5,000 on online games. I told you plenty of times to stop spending all that on your phone, but you never listened. And that's why, to make up for all that money you kept spending, I had you work. You are pretty much an adult anyway when you're in high school, so you should know better than to be spending that much of my money on your phone. You needed to learn that you have to earn the money you want to spend on entertainment. If it wasn't for me forcing you to start working a little to make up for all that money lost, then we actually wouldn't have had enough money to live decent lives.
No matter what the reason was for that, you forced me to work and took all the money I made. Normal families would have been fine with me spending that much money on things that made me happy. But instead, my mom didn't even bother to let me have my fun, instead threatening me by saying that we wouldn't have enough money for food because of my spending habits. And when I told Dad about all of this, he said you treated me like an animal. He said that had he been around when I was spending that much, he would have continued to pay for everything for me.
You're back to talking about that man?
Well, whatever. Just know that after today, you and I are done. I struck out terribly having to be raised by a failure like you. Well, now I'm not going to stick around for when you get old and need my help. And you can kiss seeing me ever again goodbye.
Are you really okay with that?
You know for a dang fact that I am, you old hag. All you are to me now is a waste of mental space.
Calling your only parent a waste of mental space, huh?
I still have Dad around to care for me when I need it. So I'd much rather have my mind thinking about him over you. Even tomorrow, he's willing to come to town to let me see him again, and we promised that. He said he wants to come and celebrate my marriage as well. I wonder what kind of gift he's gotten me this time. Maybe a brand new car?
Either that or he'll be handing you an IOU. He must know by now that you're married to a very wealthy man and will be coming to get his hands on some of the money.
Huh?
For a man that never paid any of his daughter's child support, it's pretty brave of him to come back to see you again. Tell him that I said that when he comes to see you tomorrow.
Hold on 1 second, Mom. Why would Dad ever come to me to hand me an IOU? And wanting to borrow money from me? No way. Right now, Dad is a CEO himself and can afford anything he wants.
I'm sure that he's some kind of CEO. Now I'm going to listen to what you've said and make sure that I never come around you ever again. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of your life.
Mom, come help me. When I went to go meet with Dad, he had a really scary dude with him, and he didn't even introduce himself to me before he started to yell to me about why Dad has borrowed so much money from him. That scary dude told me that Dad is over $200,000 in debt with him, and that he needs that money back right now. He even told me that I'm going to be the one to pay it back since Dad has nothing.
Oh my. Seems that gift Dad was bringing you for your wedding turned out to be a bluff. I'm surprised to hear that even Dad thinks a gift like that is okay to give to a young wife.
How the hell is something like this a gift? And actually, what the hell does he mean Dad owes him over $200,000? What the hell was Dad doing to get here?
I'm pretty sure that the scary dude explained that to you when he was telling you everything else, right?
He's so scary that most of what he said didn't even enter my ears. I freaked out so much before he could even finish that I ran to a public bathroom nearby and am currently hiding in it. Can you tell me what the actual hell is going on right now?
Even if I tried my best to explain, I've only heard rumors about your dad. From those rumors, though, it's thought that your dad runs a pretty risky business. Apparently, his company sells commodities at extremely high prices to people that need them desperately, which forces them to end up paying. At first, a company like that will make bank, forcing its customers to pay that much, but the company won't last long. And from other things I've heard, his company is currently going bankrupt. And that's probably what led to him having to borrow a lot of money trying to save his skin.
You have to be lying, right? How could all that be true when only recently he took me to that really nice restaurant with him, and he was able to give me such a high-brand present? Could he really afford all that for me when his company is going under?
Well, when you stop to really think about all of this, his timing for coming back to talk to you is a little too spot on. The moment he learned about you marrying the son of a CEO, he started to get back in touch with you again. I'm sure that his only goal in getting close to you was to get that money.
What am I going to do, Mom? I really want to run away from here right now. Can you come out here and help me get away?
I'm sorry, Misty. We made it pretty clear yesterday that neither one of us would ever be seeing one another again, right? So I won't be able to come save you, therefore you'll need to figure something out for yourself.
What?
You told me that you ended up with me as the worst parent, right? But don't you worry, as you have yourself a wonderful husband now with all that money. I'm sure that you can just go and ask him to pay off your dad's debts, right? Or, if the man is as scary as you say, you can just get a lawyer to go and deal with him for you from your husband.
And I normally would want to go ask my husband to help me out here, but right now is not the best time to be doing that. I just got a message from my husband only a few seconds ago, and he told me that he wants the two of us to get divorced already.
Huh? He wants a divorce now? Didn't you guys just have your wedding yesterday?
And yesterday I gave that speech saying that I wanted to cut ties with you, right? Well, apparently his parents and him weren't too happy to hear that from me, and so they went ahead and looked into me a bit more to see if I really was living a life in hell with you. And when they did that, they started to learn about my poor grades in school and about how I had spent so much money on my games. And after learning all that, my husband told me that you were nothing more than an average mother to me, and that the hell I was living in was my own fault.
My oh my. It's crazy to think that right after you learned about your father's debt and how he needs you to pay it off, your husband is ready for a divorce. This must really be a tough spot for you.
Please, Mom, come help me! I don't want to have to pay over $200,000 to that scary dude, and I don't want to get divorced.
Well, you can tell me that all you want, but I can't do anything for you. You told me that you wanted to cut ties to me, right? So stop trying to take all you said to me back now just because you need my help again.
I believe that we met for a brief second yesterday, but this is your son-in-law's mother, Daisy. Nice to have met you.
Nice to have met you as well. But as you heard yesterday, I'm no longer really your son's mother-in-law anymore after my daughter cut ties to me.
And about that, I think what your daughter did was just tragic. After taking the time to look into you guys a bit more, we learned that you actually didn't do anything wrong whatsoever to her. Yet for some reason, she believes she can talk about you in such a nasty tongue?
I just heard about a lot of this from her a little bit ago. And from what she was saying, your son is planning to divorce her?
I'm sorry that my son is asking for something so depressing as divorce just after the two of them had their wedding. But after hearing about the way she spoke about you, even though her past was her responsibility, we have no patience in waiting around for her to grow up. I hope you can understand that.
I do understand why your son wants the divorce. Misty did all of this to herself, so she really does need to learn, one way or another, not to act like a spoiled brat. But I wonder why, after hearing her give that speech, you guys chose to look into her. I really thought that everyone at the wedding would believe what she was saying and be on her side.
Well, you and I are both mothers, right? I understand the troubles of having to raise a daughter and that it must be way more difficult when you have to do it alone. There is also one other thing that I never mentioned to Misty. That's that her father used to cause me a lot of headache in the past.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Well, right after Misty and my son got engaged, a man with the same last name as her came to our house looking for her. When he showed up, he told me that we had to make sure that his daughter became my son's wife. And once he told me that, he handed me an envelope full of cash as a payment in advance for getting our son to stay with your daughter.
You're lying. That man actually went ahead and did all of that to you?
Of course, I told him I didn't want his money. And I wasn't going to try and stop my son from marrying Misty or anything. But when I told him that I didn't want his money, he told me that it was actually to pay for us to later take good care of him after Misty became a part of the family. However, after hearing that speech from Misty at her wedding, the three of us all lost our love for Misty at that moment, knowing that she'd be nothing but trouble like her father.
So that's what ended up happening. I don't even know how to apologize for the troubles my daughter and ex have caused.
You don't have to apologize for anything. At this point, we are going to be saying goodbye to her as our daughter-in-law, and she already cut ties to you. So she's just a stranger at this point to all of us. If anything, think of this as a way of completely saying goodbye to those two. You are finally free from them, and should look forward to a life of relaxation from now on.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Just hearing that from you now has lifted a lot of weight off my back.
What am I going to do, Mom? He actually left me like he said he would. And when I tried to get them to listen to me, they wouldn't have it and told me to go away. They told me that they won't be allowing anyone into their family that they can't trust. And that they won't allow me to be their son's wife when all I do is complain and ask for help from them. His parents and him have already filed the divorce, and there's nothing I can do now.
And so from now on, you're completely alone. Must hurt knowing that they left you like you left me.
You don't have to say something like that to me now. Just come here and get me. I already tried once to get back into your house, but you never came out to get me. Why not? Hurry up and unlock the door so I have a place to sleep tonight. Stop trying to bully me and open the dang door.
Oh, for goodness sake, you went back to that old house? I'm sorry, but I've already moved out of there. So I'm no longer in that house anymore.
Huh? You moved out?
Well, you were the one that cut ties to me, right? And since I didn't have a daughter anymore, I was in that place all by myself. But even though I was alone, there were still a lot of memories of us trapped in that place that haunted me. So I did my best to forget about you, and that meant getting out of there. And just like that, I'm now having a great time living on my own.
If you were going to do something like that, you should have told me sooner. I'm going to come to your new place now, so tell me the address.
Huh? Why would I tell some crazy stranger the address to my new house? I don't want you back in my life, and especially not back living with me.
Huh?
You and I are no longer family anymore, so this is acceptable to think, right? You are no longer my daughter, just a stranger now. So I'm not telling you a thing about my new life besides that it has nothing to do with you.
Well, wait, Mom? I just lost my husband and now have no place to go to anymore. Your cute little girl is in need of some help right now and you're not going to come save her?
I already told you that I don't have a daughter anymore. But you do have a father around you still, right? And he's entrusted you with paying off his $200,000 debt, so there must be something between you both, right? The fact that he's made it this far with that kind of debt means he'd be the perfect person for you to ask for some help from. Having a man like him around to father you again after being through the worst of it himself would be the perfect thing for you.
There's nothing perfect about any of that. All he's been trying to do is get me wrapped up in his awful life.
But even after all the years I spent raising you, you chose to keep him as your father while throwing me away, right? So you can have a great life with him now, Misty. I've got to get back to living my wonderful life as a single woman now, and I hope things go well for you soon, just like me. After that, Misty started to freak out, worrying about how her dad's debt would soon affect her, and even quit her job to run and hide. But no matter where she tried to run and hide, my ex seemed to still be hot on her trail. And when he did finally catch her, he started to call her a failure for not being able to stay married to the man that had all that money, and forced her to start working for him. Now, not only was Misty forced to start working for her dad to help him make money, but her friends started to find out as well about the debt. And not just the debt, but about the divorce as well, and began to spread rumors about her. And soon those rumors began to pick up pace and spread like wildfire. As for what's happened with me after all of this, I've just been living the good life as a single, middle-aged woman. I had to sacrifice a lot of my life raising Misty all by myself for a long time, but comparing the life I had raising her, my life all alone now is 10 times better.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
I thought today was your graduation. Why are there no signs or staff at the high school? The parking lot is basically empty right now.
I saw you getting extra ready this morning, but I didn't think you'd actually be tricked.
What do you mean, tricked?
Oh, yeah, the day of our graduation was rescheduled.
What do you mean it was rescheduled?
I mean that I'm not graduating today. I don't have school anymore, though, so I'm out with my friends right now.
Seriously? Again?
What do you mean, again?
Well, you lied to me about the date of the parent-teacher conference, and you made sure that I couldn't show up, didn't you?
Did I? I don't remember. It was such a long time ago. You know, only family members are allowed to come to the parent-teacher conference and graduation ceremony.
I am a family member.
No, you're not. The only family member that I have right now is my dad.
You're still going to say that? You're not 15 anymore. Please, stop.
You're just Dad's sugar baby. Why did Dad think it would be a good idea to remarry someone like you? Even my previous mom was better than you. She didn't complain the way you do.
You were head over heels when we announced that we were getting married. Why are you saying all of this now?
I mean, what else was I supposed to say in front of Dad? I need to be the perfect daughter that he thinks I am when I'm in front of him.
It's like you have two different personalities. I guess they were right when they said that women can be frightening.
Maybe I'll be an actress when I'm older.
Whatever. So it was a lie that today was your graduation day, and your ceremony is on another day, right? Then I'm going to head home.
I'll have Dad come over to the real graduation ceremony, and you're not invited to come. Not that you're allowed to anyway, since you're not a family member and I hate you. Why do you hate me so much? How am I supposed to know? I just hate what I hate, and I hate you. It gets on my nerves just seeing you inside the house. And even the thought of the taste of your cooking makes me gag. I also hate the way you're so desperate for my dad's attention. When have I ever been desperate for his attention? Back when he wasn't married to you, my dad listened to anything I asked him for. But ever since you came, he stopped listening to me unconditionally. You fed him lies about me and lowered my image so that you could get more attention from him, didn't you? No, I didn't. How am I supposed to trust what you say? I'm not your daughter, and you've never thought of me as your daughter, have you? Of course I think of you as my daughter. If I didn't, then I wouldn't care enough to point out the things that I think are wrong. No, you just hate me. And I don't care if you hate me because I hate you too. If anything, it's best for everyone if you just leave the house right now. Get divorced from Dad, old lady. Old lady? How dare you? Do you think a loving parent's job is to just spoil their kids unconditionally? Because it's not. It's to teach them what is accepted and what isn't in the real world. Quit acting like you're my mother. You're just a stranger. Anyways, I don't have the time to be wasting talking to some stranger. I'm going to a carnival with my friends. Don't text me anymore. A carnival? Do you have the money to go? You told me 2 days ago that you used all of your allowance for this month, so you need some money. The truth is, I know where you keep the cash inside of the house. You took money from the house? Your father and I told you to work out your spending from your monthly allowance over and over again. Who cares? I only took like $300. $300? That was the grocery money. The entrance fees went up lately. And I want to buy food and merch from the stands inside. So $300 is the bare minimum that I need to have fun. Just think of it as a present for graduation. Well then, I've got to go. Wait a minute, we gave you your present for graduation already. We paid for your whole graduation trip with your friends. Rose?
How was the graduation ceremony?
Rose lied to me. Again.
Lied to you?
Yeah, the same thing as the parent-teacher conference. Apparently the actual graduation day is next week.
Wait, but we read a paper that had the date on it.
I'm sure she just remade it and changed the date, just so that I couldn't show up. It probably isn't that difficult if you have a printer.
Wow. I'm sorry for making you go through that again. It's all because I was spoiling her until I married you.
I mean, I understand how you felt. You just wanted to show that you loved her, right? Rose didn't receive much love from her mother, so you wanted to make up for that, didn't you? I can't imagine how difficult it was to raise a daughter on your own.
Yeah. But after getting married to you, I realized that blindly doing whatever she wants isn't the same as loving her. So I tried to fix my relationship with her, but I guess it was too late. She was already in middle school by the time you and I got married.
There's no such thing as too late. We've both tried our very best to have a sincere relationship with her. And I still think it isn't too late. The only reason that she won't acknowledge me as her mother is because I'm not trying hard enough. I'm more stress tolerant than I look, so I can keep going.
Thank you so much. I don't know what I'd do without you. But still, I think it's a problem on her side that she keeps lying to you over and over again. I feel that she might do something that's too far if she keeps going.
I mean, she still lives with us. And she'll be going to university from our house instead of a dorm. So we can help her out for now. But I'm worried about what might happen when she's on her own in the real world.
In that case, I have a plan on what to do if she ever tries us again.
A plan?
Yeah, I mean, you tried the nice way over and over again, and it didn't work. So we've got to change things up a bit, don't we?
I mean, I guess. By the way, Rose told me that she wanted just you to show up at her graduation ceremony.
Just me?
Yeah, apparently only family members are invited, and I'm a stranger, not a family member. So she doesn't want me to come.
Can you show me your text messages with Rose when I get home?
Sure, but why?
I want to see what kind of stuff she's always sending you. She probably says things to you that she would never say to even a stranger, right? I want to know those things as her father.
Okay, but if she ever finds out that I showed you our text messages, she'll probably hate me for life. So only use them to acknowledge that she says those things, okay?
Okay.
Guess who just graduated and also turned 18? I'm a full-grown adult now. Anyways, I was kind of bummed out to see that Dad wasn't here. I was really glad to see that you weren't there, though.
Congratulations on graduating, and happy birthday. Since you're a full-grown adult now, I expect you to carry yourself around as an adult, so that we can treat you like one.
Stop trying to parent me, old lady. The only thing that you do is lie around at home all day and use up Dad's money. You're not in a place to be parenting me.
Old lady, huh?
Yep, and I'm an adult now, so I think your job is done in our family.
I guess so. It looks like there is not much that I can do for you anymore.
Well then, I'm gonna go party with my friends, to celebrate our graduation. Oh, and I'm gonna stop by somewhere before that, so I'll go do what I gotta do.
Okay, but even if you've graduated, don't do anything stupid in your uniform.
I brought a change of clothes, don't worry.
Don't be too late.
Sure, but make sure to pack your things by the time I'm home.
Pack my things?
I've prepared something for you. Let's say a surprise. Congratulations! Today you finally become free. I haven't felt this good in months.
You know, freedom comes with responsibility.
Oh, shut up already. You're already a stranger now, legally. So, could you do me a favor and leave my house?
Legally?
Didn't I tell you that I have a surprise? Well, surprise! I turned in divorce papers for you and Dad.
What? Is this a prank?
Nope, this is completely real. I kicked the useless old lady who calls herself my mom out of my house. It took a lot of preparation, but totally worth it. All of my friends agreed that this was the best option.
What did you do about the signatures?
Who cares? I'm sure they don't even check if the signatures are real or not. So I signed your signature for you, and my friend's boyfriend signed Dad's for him.
You know, imitating another person's signature and turning in a legal document is a serious crime.
Do you know what's more of a crime? For a stranger to linger around in someone's house and act like they belong there. I just graduated from high school, so I thought it was a good time to surprise you. Congratulations, you just graduated from your role as my mother.
Well then, I'm graduating from my role as your father too.
Wait, what? What do you mean? My dad's still my dad.
The person that you're texting right now is your father, not your mother.
Who exactly do you think you're fooling here? I get that you're getting worked up because I turned in your divorce papers as a surprise, but are you seriously gonna lie that you're my dad? What are you trying to do exactly?
You're in no place to be talking to others about lying. You lied about the parent-teacher conference and graduation ceremony, and many more things.
Look, you're not fooling anyone here, so could you just pack your things up and leave already?
You're the one who's going to pack up your things and leave, Rose.
You're seriously starting to get on my nerves. Stop acting like my dad right now. He's working at his office right now, even I know that. How would he be texting me through your phone right now?
I logged into her account through my computer.
Through your computer?
Yeah, and I've read every single text between you and your mother. It was absolutely terrible. I couldn't believe that the person who texted those messages was my own daughter. So I decided to have your mother share her password and login ID with me, so that I could see whenever you said something.
Wait, Daddy, actually, hold on. Did you actually read all of the texts?
Yes, your mother is also watching this conversation on her phone, but I'm talking to you through my computer right now.
Wait, Daddy, it's not what it looks like.
What is it then? Can you give me a valid explanation of what it is I just witnessed?
Well,
Exactly. You turned in legal documents as a surprise, right? Who did you do that for?
for you, of course. Because I know that there is someone more worthy of you, not someone like that lady.
You know, I made you go through a lot after divorcing your mother, and I'm sure I hurt you many times. So I've done things your way to make up for those things. But ever since I realized that that's not love, I acted more strictly towards you because I thought that you deserved a parent who really cared.
I only need you. We only need each other. If you have money to spend on that lady, then spend it on me.
You just want things to be about yourself, don't you? Then you can be alone and have everything be about yourself by yourself.
By myself?
Didn't you hear me? I'm graduating from the role of your father, just like the way Helen graduated from the role of your mother. You're already an adult, right? So figure out the rest of your life on your own.
Wait, what? But I'm still gonna be a college student.
If you're going to choose to be a college student, then I suggest you get a job because there's going to be a lot of tuition and living expenses to pay for. Balance your studies and work.
What? I can't do that.
You're going to college to learn, aren't you?
That's just irresponsible as a parent.
My legal responsibility to make you go to school applies up until high school, and you don't understand the worth of money yet.
Of course I do.
If you really did, then you wouldn't steal money from the house and go spend it with your friends.
That old hag, she snitched.
I told you that I saw all of the texts. Look, you're an adult now, and you want to go to college to learn. If that's the path that you're taking, then figure it out on your own. Do everything at your own risk. This is where I let go of your hand and you keep walking on your own.
But you can't just say that all of a sudden.
As I said, freedom comes with responsibility. Making choices on your own comes with risks. Happy birthday. I hope that you live a good life.
If you really hope that I have a good life, then pay for my tuition, please. I just wanted to live alone with you. I just wanted all of your love and money for myself.
Then you didn't do anything for me. You did it for yourself.
I'm still your cute little daughter, aren't I? I've acted the way that you wanted me to until now.
If you can't take good care of someone important to me, then you're clearly not acting the way that I want you to. If you really cared for me, then you would understand that Helen is the person I want to be with, and you wouldn't have turned in that divorce paper. You would have swallowed your pride and given her a chance. If you want everything to be about yourself, then live on your own.
I just graduated from high school. How am I supposed to do that?
Just go to your grandmother's house for the night.
What? Grandma's house?
Figure out how you're going to live from now on by the time college starts, because you'll never step into our house ever again.
You have got to be kidding me.
I'm dead serious. I was literal when I said that I'm no longer your father.
But I can't live on my own.
Well, you're not a child anymore, so you're going to have to. You knew what was right and what was wrong, and you still chose to do what was wrong. You brought yourself into this situation. It hurts me to know that you could do and say those things while knowing how the other person would feel.
Daddy, I'm so sorry. I'll be a completely different person from now on. Please, forgive me.
And there you go apologizing to the wrong person again. This is my responsibility. I couldn't teach you what was right until now. So I'm going to have to change the way I do things from now on. Think of this as your last chance, and have a good look in the mirror before deciding on how to live from now on. Well then, I've explained everything to your grandmother.
Wait, Dad, please. Don't throw me away like this. Daddy? Mom, Dad, I don't don't care. Whoever, please just answer. Your father is driving, so he can't answer the phone right now. Mom? Where are you? I just came home and everything is gone and no one's here. We sent all of your things to your grandmother's house, didn't we? But what about all of your stuff? We moved. Moved? Yeah, we're headed to our new house right now. New house? Where? Can't tell you. We decided together that we won't tell you anymore. Anyway, have you already decided on what you're going to do about your housing and job after college starts? Of course not. I don't have any money. We already paid for the initial fees, didn't we? But I can't afford to pay the tuition. We handed your grandmother the information to your bank account. It has all of the birthday money and extra income that you received and never used. But this isn't enough. Of course it isn't. You used up almost everything the moment you received it. Well, then what am I supposed to do? I can't even move with this money. But Grandma keeps telling me that I'll only be able to stay at her place for another month. I mean, you don't expect her to let you stay at her house for the rest of your life, do you? I was planning to go to college from our old house, so I never saved up to live alone. I know that. You were planning to make your father and I divorce so that you could live alone with him and live a worry-free, amazing college life, right? Please, just tell me where your new house is. I'm begging you. I'm nice, but not nice enough to live with someone who I know hates my guts. I'm sorry, honey. But at this rate, I won't be able to go to college. And I haven't found a place to work at either. So I'll be homeless before I even know it. You're going to get to live at your grandmother's place for another month or so. So I suggest that you at least figure out how to do some chores around the house by the time you get kicked out. How would you forgive me? This isn't a matter of forgiving or not forgiving. This is called tough love. This isn't love! I mean, we gave you soft love for a long time, but you never fixed anything. This is our final resort to help you become a responsible adult. Please forgive me. I can't just not go to college while the rest of my friends are. And I can't be the only one who's working my butt off to pay my bills. Are you listening? Mom? It's strange. I wanted you to call me by that name so badly. But I couldn't care less anymore. I guess my brain just processes you as a stranger now. I'll apologize for everything that happened until now. Let's just go back to how things were, please. Let's be a family again. The way things were? You want to go back to when you never acknowledged me as a family member and disregarded all of my hard work to be a good mother? Because if that's the case, I'm going to have to reject your offer. Your father and I are still human beings, just like you are. We can't accept everything and act like nothing happened. But I'm apologizing to you. Well then, I'll be muting my phone now. I'm also blocking your number, so only contact your father from now on. And keep it to the minimum. To the minimum? Yep. Good luck figuring things out on your own. Bye-bye. Rose turned out to be unable to pay for her tuition and decided not to start college. Her grandmother knew the whole situation. And being the strict person that she is, she really decided to make Rose live on her own after 1 month. I've heard that she's currently working multiple jobs at a time, and finally acknowledges how valuable money is and how difficult it is to make a living on her own.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey, Molly. Are you there? I was just curious if you saw the condo photos that I sent you earlier. The view is from so high up. I was just so excited that I had to show everyone my new view. And it has a huge living room and even a concierge. I knew that getting with a CFO would be a good idea. Having a rich husband is great.
No, actually, I didn't look at the photo and I don't appreciate all your bragging. So please just leave me alone, all right?
You know, if you don't want to talk to me, you could always just block me. But the fact that you haven't until now means that you secretly want to hear about how amazing my life is.
Yeah, that's really not what's going on here at all. And I haven't blocked you because you're my sister. I only haven't blocked you for that reason and that alone.
You always have the same old lame excuses. Do you know that? If you really loved George, then you'd have blocked me by now. Or do you think that you'll somehow be able to take him back from me? Because I can tell you right now that that's not going to happen. George doesn't have even an ounce of feelings left for you, so there.
Oh boy, here we go again.
I'm just saying that it's clear you can't let him go. Or the fact that I was able to steal him from you. But it's your fault for not keeping your eyes on that rich man of yours. And to think that you two had been dating for 5 years before I was finally able to make him all mine. I knew that you two were even thinking about marriage, but I guess I put an end to all of that right away, didn't I? So why don't you just accept that I've won and just leave us to be in peace already?
You're the one who messaged me in the first place, and I don't want George back at all, thank you very much. Why can't you just accept that I have a lot of complicated feelings about all of this? I mean, you're my sister, but I wish that you would quit rubbing this in my face all the time.
Oh man, you really are just such a crybaby. Do you know that? You think your crocodile tears are going to change anything? If anything, it just makes me think of you as all the more pathetic.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to be like that to me.
Yeah. You can say whatever you want, but all I hear is a little loser asking for her boyfriend back. It's not cute, though, and you won't be getting George back.
I'm not trying to get pity from you, or get George back. How many times am I going to have to say that? Yes, we were talking about getting married, but we're apart now and I don't think about it. And besides, he was the one in get with you, so why would I want to marry a man like that now?
There you go, making up all those lame little excuses again. It really is just sad, you know? But maybe he left you because you're such a crybaby? And for that, I'm going to have you in the very back at mine and George's wedding.
Wait, what? What wedding? What are you talking about?
Oh, didn't you hear? We're going to be getting married this year. He told me that he can't wait any longer and wants to do it right away.
You have got to be kidding me. I was shocked when you two moved in together, but now you're telling me that you're getting married too?
Well, duh. I mean, George is already 30 years old. And I guess that his dad had a long talk with him about taking responsibility. Not to mention he has a lot to think about with work. So we figured the easiest thing to do would just be to marry each other as soon as possible.
Oh, I see. Well, no, I hadn't heard any of that at all.
Oh, don't worry. You'll be getting an invitation when we have more details figured out. But just remember that you're going to be kept to the very back of the whole affair. I can't wait to see your crying face at the very end of the walkway. Yours is going to be the last that we see before we drive off into the sunset together.
Oh man, don't you have any pride for yourself, Molly? If you really want to get back together with me, you should just talk to me about it directly.
What in the world are you talking about, George?
I mean that I saw you just now in the office. You came to my dad to try and make him get back together with you, right? Have to say that I'm pretty shocked. I didn't realize that you wanted me so badly. I'm a bit of a bad boy, if you hadn't noticed.
Literally, what in the world are you talking about? Have you hit your head or something like that? I don't want anything to do with you ever again, and your dad called me here to talk to him about something else.
And just why would my dad want to talk to my ex-girlfriend, He doesn't associate with bottom feeders like you. He's too busy.
He was suspicious about why we broke up after 5 years just for you to end up with my sister. And he was surprised to hear about you and my sister getting married, so he called me to discuss that.
Oh, yeah, that does sound like him, I guess. He just can't learn how to mind his own business. But who cares who I date? It's my choice. He needs to learn to butt out and let me live my life.
I think it's that your dad is worried about you and wants to make sure that you're making good choices.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the excuse he gave you for his actions. But it's so obvious that you came to the office today to try and beg for me to get back together with you. Your obsession with me is really just getting sad at this point, Molly.
I think the only person who thinks anyone is sad here is your dad about you. In fact, he apologized for your actions to me today. He apologized for what you did, and then he gave me a rather thick envelope.
Oh, I get what's going on now. You were blackmailing my dad about what I did so that you could get a big payout. Is that it?
You have got to be kidding me. Do you really think that's what's going on?
You know that we weren't even engaged yet, right? Oh, but I get why you'd be mad about wasting 5 years of your 20s with me. I would want to pay out too if I was a poor little nobody like you. But man, it really is sad when you get caught red-handed taking money like that, isn't it?
You really have no idea about anything that happened between your dad and I. But yes, if you really must know, he did give me some money.
There you go, I called it. I guess at least there was a silver lining to getting dumped by me after all. Hope you think of me when you spend that money.
Again, you have no idea at all what you're talking about, and the only person I feel any gratitude towards is your father. I know that you and my sister are getting married, but I wouldn't do anything more to upset your dad. He really is getting on his last straw with you.
Ah, well, thank you so much for your concern, but I think I'm going to keep on living my life however I want. Especially if that means avoiding marrying an old hag.
Hey there, sis. Did you get the invitation to my wedding? I bet that you were pretty surprised, weren't you? Did you look at where we were going to be having it? It's a pretty amazing place.
Oh, yes. I saw the venue. It sounds like a pretty amazing place. Even the invitation was all shiny. And haven't a bunch of celebrities gotten married there too? This must be costing a lot, no?
Well, that's what happens when you marry a CFO! Did you really think we were going to have some tiny wedding? And the catering is being done by one of the best places in the city, too. We've even got a Michelin chef to create the menu for us.
Wow. So much money, all to spend it all on just one day of celebration.
Well, this day is going to be one of the most important in my entire life. I'm going to be the star of the show, and everyone is going to see how bright I'll shine. Ooh, maybe some celebrities will even show up to help me celebrate it. Just thinking about it makes me so excited.
I get being happy about your wedding, but do you have any idea how much it's going to cost? I mean, I know that George is rich, but even he doesn't have limitless wealth. And you've basically been nothing but a mooch ever since you graduated.
I have not been a mooch or anything like that. At all. I've made my own money off of modeling, thank you very much. I'm a model with an agency and everything. Sure, I have a part-time job that I have at my office and everything, but I'm a model. Don't get me wrong.
It sounds to me like you have a really booming career there. But are you really saying that a part-time model and her unemployed fiancé are going to be able to afford something like this? I hope you two weren't planning on trying to pay for the whole thing through your wedding gifts.
Who is unemployed here? Besides, there's really nothing to worry about at all. I mean, George's dad is going to be paying for it all anyways, so we're not going to be paying for anything.
Hold on a second. You mean that George's dad really said that he's going to pay for it?
Oh, come on. Surely you can't be surprised about that, right? I mean, of course he was going to. George is the CFO of his company. Of course his dad is going to pay for the wedding. Not just the venue. He's going to pay for the catering and staff and everything. We won't have to spend a single dime.
But what I want to know is, if George's dad really actually promised that he would pay for your wedding, I mean, did he actually say those things? Because as far as I know, his dad really didn't seem to approve of his son sneaking around one bit.
Oh, George told me all about how you were called into his father's office and how you probably tried to rat us out for your own benefit. But even then, there was no scolding that came or anything. Don't you get it? This just proves that I've won. I'm in and you're out, and that's that. He clearly approves of our wedding, and it's obvious that he's going to support us.
Okay, I mean, I wasn't going to throw a fit about it or anything like that. I was just curious about what he said is all.
And just why in the world do you even care now that this doesn't even involve you, huh? Did you really think his dad wouldn't support his own son? I mean, you know that George is going to take over the company once his dad steps down, don't you? There's no way that he wouldn't pay for a wedding with so much on the line.
Well, that's interesting that you say that because I'm actually not so sure he is going to be taking over.
You really have no idea what you're talking about. You're just jealous because we're going to have the amazing wedding that you never could. But don't worry, it's not like we're not going to invite you. In fact, the both of us really hope that you show up. We want to rub your face in our success.
Well, I'm your sister, so of course I was going to be at the wedding. But you said you were going to sit me in the back. So I'm still wondering if you even have a seat actually saved for me at this point.
Oh, come on. That doesn't mean you're going to miss the wedding, though, right? You have to be there to sit in the back and look all sad for us. And you have to make sure to bring us a big wedding gift. We won't be accepting anything less than about 10 grand.
Hold on a second. You're not really asking your guest to be giving you $10,000 as a gift, are you?
Oh, come on. This is going to be the wedding of a lifetime. Did you really think the ticket to get in was going to be cheap? Besides, don't you want to come and see your one and only little sister getting married? This is never going to happen again. Surely money's no object for you to be there for me, right?
What in the world are you talking about? How can you seriously be asking for that? That's just absurd.
But you're missing some of the perks that you get of sitting in the front row. That means that when you walk through the door, you've already found your seat. Honestly, in a lot of ways, you're getting the VIP treatment. Don't you see that?
I have no idea who in their right mind would pay $10,000 for entrance into any kind of wedding. But I'm certainly not going to be shelling out that sort of cash to go see some failed model get hitched.
Excuse me. What did you just say? What's the matter with you? Fine then. Since you and I are sisters, you'll only have to bring $1,000. How does that sound? Now that I've given you such a huge discount, you have to show up at the wedding, right?
You really are just completely out of line right now. And just why should I have to show up there anyways?
Oh, come on. You're not actually going to miss this, right? One of the whole reasons I want to get married is just that I can see the disappointment on your face. Surely $1,000 shouldn't be too much for you, right? After all the strings that I'm pulling and the role that I'm giving you?
Let's get something straight here. You do know that George has been disinherited, right?
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
I mean that's why I've been wondering if you're really going to be able to pull off having such a huge wedding. That's why I said it'll be a wedding for a wannabe model and her unemployed husband. And I really don't know about bringing $1,000 just for that.
Wait a second. I don't understand. What is this? What are you talking about? What do you mean he's been disinherited?
So I guess you still haven't heard the news then, right? But I think you should go and ask George or his dad as soon as you can. And you should also go and find out just who is going to be paying for that wedding. You might just be able to save yourself. Or your wedding if you try and act fast.
What the heck is going on here? Why in the world did you tell Tina that I had been disinherited? What's the matter with you? That things were going so well, and I finally thought that we were going to have some smooth sailing, and then you have to come along and blow everything up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I ruin your plan to defraud my sister through her marriage to you? It's not my fault that your dad chose to do what he did. Besides, I know that it's not just that. He's cutting you off everywhere. I know that he took your fancy black card, and I bet that isn't going to be giving you a dime for your wedding. But I still just wonder what you've been telling Tina in the midst of all of this. And just how did you think it was going to be smooth sailing? I mean, what did you think was going to happen once you two are married and she finds out that you're out of a job?
Shut up. I don't need you critiquing my plan. It was all going to work in the end, okay? Or at least everything was going to be just fine until you had to go and ruin it. Look, I thought I had done such a good job of hiding from Tina that my dad had cut me off, and when she found out, she flew into a huge panic.
Oh, yes, I bet that she would have. And I don't blame her one bit for it. It really is ironic, though. She was getting married to you and thought that she'd be set for the rest of her life. You two even wanted to invite me so that you could try and rub my face in it. But now the only people who are going to end up regretting everything are you two.
What's the matter with you? How dare you talk as if you're not a part of this? You did this. This is all your fault and you have to pay for this. Look, I have no idea what you told my dad or what he told you, but I just know that you had a part in all of this.
Wow. Well, here's a side I didn't think I would see of you. You're so desperate now. But I'm sure that you already know all of what I told your dad. I already told you exactly what I did, of course. But you had quite a different attitude when I was there at the office. You were so cocky, weren't you?
But, well, I mean, I thought you had come back to my dad's office to beg for him to make me get back together with you. And even if my dad did want to know the truth about how your sister and I got together, you didn't have to tell him the part about where I was cheating on you. But don't you realise the problems that you've made for us? I was so shocked when the day after I saw you at the office, my dad called me into his and told me the horrible news.
There you go, like a child crying because you didn't get a toy that you wanted. You thought you knew exactly what was going on, but you don't know anything.
Shut up. You don't know anything. I'm not crying. This isn't how things were supposed to go. I'd never seen my dad so mad at me before. Look, he's always given me whatever I want, and now I'm going to get nothing for the rest of my life. This can't be happening to me.
I can't believe that you've gotten this far in life and you still act like such a petulant, spoiled child. It really is just pathetic.
What did you say? You can't talk to me like that. It's not fair.
Of course your dad spoiled you. You were his one and only son. I mean, I know all about how your mom died when you were young. So obviously your dad was putting all his hopes into you. I'm not shocked at all that he is upset with you.
You don't know anything about me or my dad, so don't pretend like you do.
You know, when your dad called me into the office to talk about you and my sister, he was so crushed. He just had no idea how he could have ended up raising such a scummy son. He even said that. I could hear his voice choking up and how disappointed he was in you.
No, that can't be right. Please tell me this isn't true. This can't be happening to me.
Well, I think you have more pressing things to worry about now. Like, how are you going to afford this huge extravagant wedding that Tina kept going on and on about? Why don't you quit crying like a baby to me and get the rest of your life in order, huh? After that, Tina messaged me crying about how overnight their wedding budget had been literally decimated. She realized that she was never going to get the huge wedding she'd been bragging about. But Tina was freaking out about the wedding and wondering about how she was going to get out of her relationship with George before it was too late. She missed her chance to act. George had already sent the wedding certificate to be filed away, and wedding or no, the two were legally husband and wife now. The two of them ended up moving into a cramped little apartment and had to take the first job that they could find. George begged his father for money over and over, but it was no use. He even burst into his father's building to beg for help, but George's dad later told me was carried out by security promptly. Ever since then, Tina has been too busy handling her own crazy life with her own terrible husband to bother me anymore. As I mentioned above, George's father and I still keep in touch. I had heard from some of the staff about how angry he had gotten at his son, but to me he had never been anything but kind and courteous. As for me, I was more or less able to rid myself of Tina and George and simply went on with my life. I was glad to have dodged that bullet and was satisfied that I had put an end to Tina's wedding plans before she would have ended up with the bill for such a huge affair. Whether she'll ever see it that way is another issue. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Sometimes there really are coincidences like this. But to think one would be me running into my older sister in the middle of the city like this?
Even I was thinking that I'd never have to see you again, Jade. As large as New York City is, I guess we both just happened to be right here at the same time.
But after seeing how healthy you're looking, Ariana, I can finally relax a little. You must have made it past being that dirty homeless woman you once were. I was honestly thinking you'd be living in the dirt and filth of New York City for the rest of your life. I was shocked to see you living the life of us normal folk. Huh? I still think about what happened 5 years ago. Especially that face you made when you found out your husband at the time, Trey, had thrown you away. Being kicked right out of the house you both had built and moved into. You were crying so hard that there were tears spilling out of literally every hole on your face.
Well, I'm sure anyone would be crying like that during those times. Having your own husband stolen from you by your little sister? I'm sure any sane person would have been shocked.
But the most entertaining part came right after that. While watching TV, there was this show about the homeless in New York. And when you had a really good look at the line of hobos at the soup kitchen, there you were. Your clothing was all in tatters and you looked dead, lined up with all those druggies and forgotten veterans. When we saw you lined up like that, both Trey and myself burst out laughing.
And I'm going to assume that neither of you would be able to imagine how difficult it was for me to get back to my original life from there.
Sorry about that. But I've never had to be a hobo myself, so I would never be able to imagine such a thing. To be honest, I didn't even think someone could live their life normally after losing their house.
Don't ever talk to me again. Just from these texts we've been sending back and forth alone, my heart is starting to race again and my forehead is beginning to sweat.
What? We were finally able to meet back up after 5 years of being apart, and that's how you're going to treat me? I'm your only little sister after all, so you should be more open to me again. Oh, that's right. If you don't mind and can make it, I'd like to invite you to our next home party. Just recently, we had another house built, so we need to have a party there as well now to christen it.
You had another house built? Was the house you stole from me not good enough? You kicked me out of there 5 years ago, saying you'd be making that your guys' love nest and everything. So why do you both need to build a new house?
We've done this because we both realized the last house wasn't good enough for us. It was in a nice location and all, but having to live in the same house as Trey's ex-wife was a little tough on the heart. So Trey went ahead and had this new house built for the two of us.
You're kidding me. Then what's going to happen to the last house?
We had it demolished and sold the land back to the realty company. We made sure that the house that had all your memories with Trey could never be seen again.
What the hell, Jade? If you both were just going to end up tearing it down anyway, why did you both have to take it from me in the first place?
Oh, now that you say it that way, I suppose you're right. Sorry about that. I guess the both of us just made you homeless for no reason at all now. But of course, that was a great experience for you, so I'm sure you'll forgive us for that one. Anyway, the next time I text you will be about the home party, all right?
I heard about you from Jade. You able to crawl back out of that life as a homeless person, huh? Congratulations.
Thank you so much for taking the time to text me now. But I'm sure you have more to say to me than just congratulations, right?
Huh? There's something else I just say?
I heard about this from Jade. That house you both stole from me? You had demolished and then sold the land, right?
You want to talk about that? We were to make some decent money off that place. Did you have anything you wanted to say about it? I was the owner of that house, so there should be no problem with me having it torn down and sold.
I understand that you were the owner, but I had one request from you, right? If you guys were ever going to leave that house, to tell me about it then. I told you that if you were going to sell it, I would buy it, so don't sell it to anyone else. I asked you that so many times after you threw me away, right?
Oh, wait, what? You said all that to me?
Shut the frick up, you bastard! You knew all along what I asked from you. You knew just how many times I told you that I wanted to keep that house if you both were going to let go of it. That house held so many memories of myself and Mickey in it. When I was single, I had always been living with Mickey. And after having lived with one another for so long, we moved into that new house with you. You knew just how many final memories I had with Mickey in that house and how important it all was to me.
Ah, now I'm starting to remember. I suppose you did say some of those things to me before you left. You wanted the house back because of your memories with that cat?
I was already sad because of the fact you both stabbed me in the back, but what really shocked me was getting kicked out of that house. That's why the whole time I was homeless, I worked my butt off to make it back to a life where I could make money again. I was planning to buy that house back from you two. Yet you both went and freaking tore that house down and sold the freaking land.
Hey, don't get so upset over it. The house is gone now. There's no going back to it.
What the hell is wrong with you? I am never gonna forgive you for that, you jerk.
I don't need your forgiveness. How you think of me literally has nothing to do with my life now. And the fact that you're turning into a witch over some memories you had with some silly cat. How can you be so attached to the memories of that cat?
Excuse me?
Why don't you just get yourself a new cat? There's no way a woman that just crawled back from being a hobo could afford to have a cat. I'm so sorry for suggesting something a lowlife would never be able to do.
This coming weekend, I'd like you to come to our house. All right, Ariana? We'll be having that party I was talking about with you a few weeks ago. We plan to have tons of really good food there for everyone to eat, so make sure that you fill up. I'm sure it will all be better than that food from that soup kitchen. I'm sorry, but I'm sure there are plenty of other people you can invite to that party. I have no interest in seeing your guys' newly built house. What was that? Could this mean that you are still upset about the fact that we tore that old house down? I heard about how you felt from Trey about that, but you need to stop crying like a baby and grow up. No matter how mad you get, there's no way you can go back in time and fix things. Huh? And really, I would like you to hurry up and come see our beautiful and high-class home we have now. I want to see the face you make when you see how luxurious this house is. I'm just shaking in my chair right now just thinking of how you'd react. If it's that luxurious that I'll be shocked that much, what house did you guys end up having built? Oh, you're wondering about that? Well, this house happened to cost us both $2 million. $2 million? You both ended up spending that kind of money on it? What do you think? That's pretty amazing, right? Not only is it crazy that we both have a house built here in New York City, but we ended up spending $2 million on it. The fact that I get to live in such a gorgeous house as this now makes me a winner. Where did the two of you end up getting that kind of money from? Even with the money from the land you sold before, there's no way you made even $1 million off that land. But here's the thing. We did make that kind of money for this new house. My husband, who I love so much, has really been moving up in his company, and that's where all this money came from as well. That all then allowed us to get this huge loan on the house and everything with no questions whatsoever. What? You're telling me Trey has been getting promoted? Trey? The guy that never once got a promotion while I was with him, and if anything got moved down in salary. For some reason, ever since we got married to one another, Trey's been fighting like a boss.
He told me he wanted to show me how amazing he is, and so he started to focus all his energy into work. And because of all that energy, he was able to get promoted. And now he's working high up in that company. You're lying, right? Not at all. And not only was he able to move really high up in this company, but other companies have been calling to him as well. Companies that have been really wanting to hire him into their ranks. After being promoted so much, the fact that he's now even being asked to join other companies is amazing. When a proper woman becomes a man's wife, they will usually start to show their true strength. In other words, all that's happened is because of me. He's already chosen to join a new company now that is going to pay him even more, and he won't even have to work as much. That's why the both of us decided that it was worth it to pay $2 million for this home. Living in a really nice house like this should only make him want to work harder and make us even more money. I see now. So that's how you ended up with a place like that. And starting next year, he will be making another $100,000 on top of what he's already making, so we'll be frickin' rich. Oh, and of course, that's only going to be his base pay. There will also be things like bonuses and extra money coming in due to his success. We really will be making an insane amount of money with all of that. That really is amazing of him. The fact that a man like Trey could ever get into a position like that. Are you aware of the company Fly High USA? They happen to be at the top of the stock market right now. That's the company that's called for my husband to go work there. What did you say? Did you really know about that company then? Well, I suppose it isn't too strange for even someone of your class to know about them. They are ranked in the top 100 companies in the world and are moving their way up to being in the top 50. Did Trey really get asked by a company like that to go and work for them? Has he already confirmed that he'll be going to that company now? Yes, he has. He had to take one basic exam to enter the company with that interview, but he finished that like a piece of cake, he said. And since it was the company asking to hire him in the first place, that means there's no way he wouldn't be getting the job there. No way. And I'm sure part of all this has to do with having me as his wife. Seeing him gaining all this energy after marrying me has really got me jumping with joy. Back when I had first seen him with you, I knew he was the one for me. My heart was racing, and I thought to myself, as long as I had him, then my life would be perfect. I wouldn't have to do a thing, and I would become a celebrity. I'm just glad I was just listening to my intuition there. I made the right choice stealing a man like Trey from you, Ariana. What? So you're telling me that you stole him from me because of that reason? What do you mean, because of this reason? Intuition is a very important thing. Because I listened to it, I was able to get myself this man and a new house for myself. Who would have thought, though, that my sister was married to a man that could make it this far up in the world? I'm sure you are so jealous of me right now, considering my Trey is going to be making another $100,000 here soon on top of what he was already making. That company happens to be my husband's, though. What? I never thought something like this could be happening. I need to go and check with him about all of this right now. Sorry, but I have to go. Wait a second, please. What do you mean that's your husband's company? And wait, what's this about a husband? Ariana, did you get married again? Yes, I did get married again. I can see that you probably can't believe what you're hearing right now, but while I was homeless, I ran into this wonderful man. He was one of the volunteers at that soup kitchen I'd always go to, and he and I both became really close to one another. What? You found the man you would later marry while you were homeless? He was such a soft and kind gentleman, and he really did his best to help cheer me on as I worked my way back into society. Then, once I had found myself a new job and got a place to live, he confessed that he loved me. Of course, I said okay to us starting to date, but after that, there were so many surprises for me. I never thought that the man working at the soup kitchen all the time as a volunteer was also the CEO of a company as large as Fly High USA. Huh? When I learned just how large that company is, I really started to wonder how I was so fortunate to run into a man like him. You're lying about all of that, right? It was already hard enough for me to believe that you got married again. But the man you ended up with happens to run a company like that? And to make everything all the more crazy, that's the company that Trey will be going to? I'm just as shocked as you are right now. That's why I need to go have a word with my husband this instant. Now that I have to run, this is goodbye, Jade.
Hey, Ariana. I already heard some things from Jade, but you really got married again? And the man you got married to happens to be the CEO of Fly High USA? So now you're the CEO's wife?
I wouldn't say that any of his responsibilities have fallen on me as his wife just yet, but yes, he is the CEO and I am now his wife. And to think a company like my husband's actually reached out to try and hire you.
No way. This is all a joke, right? So were you the one that went and talked to your husband and had his company turn me away from being hired now? Knocking me down like that all because of some personal issues you have? Don't you dare start screwing around with me. I was just called by the company and they told me they won't be hiring me anymore. They told me that I failed the interview and all that and can't be hired. No matter how you try and think about it, there's no way I failed. I was given that exam and interview because the company wanted someone like me. They asked me to come and join them. Are you all trying to play games with me right now by asking me to join the company and then telling me no?
Ah, I see now. So this is about what happened there.
This is definitely all because of you. You asked your husband to fail me like that and turn me away. You've really gone and done it now to me.
Hold on now, Trey. I think you're mistaken here. I'm sorry that everything lined up like this in terms of timing, making you want to blame me, but you failing that interview was not my doing. By the time I was talking with my husband about you, you had already taken your exam and interview and were chosen to be turned away because of those results.
What did you just say?
I understand that it's very upsetting to be asked to join a company only to be turned away by them after your interview with them. But that just means the company misunderstood your abilities and can't hire you based off of how you did when you came and actually spoke with the interviewer. From what my husband said, the way you behaved during that interview was awful.
Huh? The way I behaved at the interview was awful?
You seem to have thought the interview was only being done as part of the company's process and wasn't really real. But to both my husband and the HR department, that interview was very much real and being taken seriously. I get that you thought you would already be getting the job due to the company asking you to join them. But when it came to the way you communicated during that interview and you view in terms of value, you were not the person that they wanted. They wanted that interview done in order to get one last good look at you before hiring you. But you didn't take it seriously at all, and that really showed them the true Trey.
What?
Trey, you were already very late to that interview, correct? And when you arrived, you didn't even bother to apologize for being late, only replying by saying that you would already had the job, so what was the big deal? Then you never even answered any of their questions regarding the work you were doing at your previous company, all before you walked out of there saying, "See y'all later." The company's introduced many people into their ranks by asking them to join because of their skills, but they have never had someone as ignorant and rude as you end up being a part of the people they were originally wanting. This led to everyone in HR, along with my husband and his committee, to all saying no to hiring you.
You're kidding! So you're telling me it's because of my behavior that I was turned away?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. So please stop blaming me for something you did.
No. There's no way that's happening. No matter how bad my behavior was then, they were the ones that wanted to hire me. So how could they turn me down like that at the last minute?
They could do it because this is business. If they ended up hiring someone like you, then they would have to pay you close to $300,000 a year to act like a complete jerk around the office. They can't take risks like that for someone as replaceable as you.
No way.
My husband was laughing a whole lot about this. He never thought that the man who blatantly failed his interview was the same man that made me homeless. He always thought that a man who could do that to me was troubled mentally and was sure glad that your mental issues came out during that interview.
Shut the frick up. Then what the hell am I going to do now? I never thought that I'd be turned away from that company like this. I already told my previous company I'm quitting because of the new job.
You did? You haven't even confirmed yet whether or not you were getting the job at this company, yet you already went and quit your last job? Normally, you shouldn't make a move until you know you've gotten that new job, right?
But I seriously didn't think there was a chance of me not getting the job. What am I gonna do? I already went to my old boss and manager and bragged to them about the new job I'm getting. If I go back to them and say I'm not quitting after all because I got turned away, I can't be in such an embarrassing situation like that.
Well, then you'd better hurry up and find a completely new company that will hire you. I was told that plenty of other companies were also wanting to hire you, right? Hurry up and start telling them that you'll take the job and go to their interviews. Ariana, please, can you please lend me some money? I just need $30,000 from you is all. What? Right now we won't be able to pay the loan on our house. At the end of this month, we have to make another payment, yet we have nothing in our bank accounts. You're joking, right? You guys didn't even have any savings? Well, when we moved into this house, we went out and bought all of our furniture and electronics to fill the house with. We also went out and bought a brand new Ferrari. I didn't think that all of that spending would come and bite us in the butts this month. After having to pay for all of those other things, we have no money for the loan. I see. And that's your reason for wanting money from me now? Don't you think, for starters, you can pay us enough for the next couple of months to pay off some of the loan? We never thought that Trey would end up being turned away from that job at Fly High USA. He is trying so hard right now to find a new job, but he won't ever be paid in time for this next payment. That does seem pretty tough for the both of you. But I'm not handing you any money. If you are all out of money, then go find yourselves a loan shark or someone to borrow from. And right now, no one is willing to give us money. Not even the loan sharks around here. The fact that we have this massive loan to pay off, as well as the fact that neither of us are working, they all tell us that they will never get any money back from us, so there's no agreement that can be made. Everyone keeps turning us away, banks and loan sharks alike. Oh dear. So please help us. And if you'd really like me to bring this up, he was once your husband and he's at fault for all of this. I think you have to be just as responsible for this happening as he is. Oh, hold on. That's your husband now, and so far, what's happening is exactly what the man deserves. He went into my husband's company with a toxic attitude and tried to act as though he already had the job. These days, loans on houses are really tough. And since this house is so expensive, things have been made worse. We could try and tell the bank to give us a little more time, but then the interest would skyrocket on us. Oh, is that right? So please, I am seriously asking for just a little money from you. You're the wife of a CEO after all, so you should have tons of money you can use, right? Of course we'll pay you back that money you lend us someday. I'm really sorry, Jade. Just like the two of you, I don't have any money in my savings. Huh? Not even a penny? Even though you're married to a CEO? You guys went and sold the land from the previous house, right? Well, I just recently went and bought that land back from the realtor. And in order to do that, I had to use up all my money that I had saved. Huh? I no longer have the house that contained all my best memories, but at least the land is still around for me to keep. So I'm thinking I'll have a new building built here, and I'll turn it into a cat cafe in memory of my Mickey. That's always been a dream of mine ever since I was a little girl. Are you being serious right now? You really went and spent all your money on that? Actually, as of right now, I'm in a little bit of debt myself. I had to borrow some money from my husband to make things work, and we'll have to pay him back later. So let's the both of us do our best to make some money. I want to save all kinds of cats off the street and make them my employees, and then make the money to pay my husband back. You're making it seem like you care more about those cats than your own sister. Well, of course I am. They are all cats after all. All so cute and fluffy. Way more cute than you are, especially. What? I understand that a lot of people think that cats can be mean and all, but when you treat them nice, they'll respect you as family. Unlike the two of you, who are neither cute nor have the ability to treat anyone nicely, no matter who they are or what they do. Excuse me?
Before you start to cry and beg for my help, why don't you help your husband out by finding yourself a job as well? You're not making any money yourself, and if you can't pay off that loan soon, you'll both be evicted from there by the bank. If that happens, then you both will become the newest additions to New York's homeless. Come on now, Ariana! I will not let myself become homeless! I'll send you a list later on of all my most recommended soup kitchens around the city. Good luck to the both of you now! These are all things I've heard from rumors, but it sounds like Trey, although very embarrassed in doing so, tried to go back to his old company and ask for them to forget about him quitting. But that company had already finished the process of letting him go, so there was no way back into his old job. He then began to freak out and started calling all the companies that had been wanting to hire him before. However, all of them had gotten other people to apply within that time, so there were no more positions open for Trey. Due to there being no easy jobs for him then, Trey went and sold that brand new house back to the bank, and in a single day moved out into a very small and cheap apartment with Jade. The only problem is that even with selling the house back, they would still need to owe around $200,000 to the bank. So right now, they're both working about 3 jobs each at local bars and diners, paying off whatever they can each month. It seems that things really didn't go their way when Trey didn't get that job he bragged about, and they couldn't keep the house that they were also bragging about. Now, with them being in pretty serious debt to the bank, who knows when they'll be back to living the life they were so accustomed to.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.